But does this sound familiar? 6 months earlier, your team had set some goals, you made plans, you left your meeting motivated, and now you're standing in front of them and asking, how many of you have actually looked at the goals since we set them last? Or maybe you ask a harder question, why are we still talking about the same issues and the same problems over and over again? Maybe you had that meeting, but everyone's going to agree something needs to change. And, because really things will improve for a few weeks, and then some missed details, week follows through really starts to creep back in. And before long, you're chasing the people and fixing the same problems again and again. So has that ever happened to you? If so, go ahead and just type yes in the comments. I love to hear from you. I want to see how many people that this is actually affecting. So here's what most business owners miss. Your team may care, but their desire to change might not be strong enough to beat the pull of the old way. And that's why I want to share with you a simple formula on how to fix this. Because if nothing changes, you're stuck in the middle as the reminder, this inspector, and the person that gets everything moving. But when the team understands why change matters and what happens next, they can now carry more without without you really having to push every step. So the mistake here is thinking that good meetings actually creates change. You explain the problem, you agree on what needs to improve, and then you walk away thinking, hey, this is great. We finally got this problem solved. We've handled it. But your frustrations cannot carry the whole team. If you're the only person that really feels the pain, sees the better future, and knows the next move, the change still depends on you. You didn't get out of the middle. You just gave yourself another job, keeping everybody motivated. So here's the simple formula of change. First, it starts off, go ahead, write this down. Dissatisfaction times vision plus first steps must be greater than that resistance to change. So first comes dissatisfaction. So that doesn't mean that everybody has to get upset. You have to help them see what isn't working and what it's really costing them, the company. Go ahead and ask, what are we tired of dealing with over and over again? Maybe it's how customers are waiting, work is being done twice, or important details being missed, or make the problem real to the people who can actually change it. So second is create a clear vision. Ask really what would better look like. Don't settle for we need to communicate better. Yeah, but what does that look like? What would we see if we fix this? What would the customer notice? What would stop coming back to you over and over again? Because if the picture is fuzzy, the old habits usually win and creep back in. And third, and finally, third step is first steps, really. And that's where, at first steps, there's no big plan that disappears into a folder. Just ask a simple question. What will we do differently this week? Who's going to own it? When are we going to review it? An announcement is not a first step. A first step is an action, an owner, and a date. Now let that sink in. So at that next meeting, review the commitment, recognize the progress, deal with what got in the way, choose the next step. That is how a good conversation becomes a new way of working, and we are actually solving problems. So this kind of structure we build into a business operating system. The goal isn't to make the business owner better at chasing people. It's to help the team own the change and follow through without returning everything back to the owner. So think back to the team. 6 months after setting these goals, we were asking why some of the same issues were still there. The goal isn't another great meeting. The goal is different behavior after everyone leaves the room. So remember, you don't have to do this alone. I'm Business Coach Steve, and if you're tired of having the same conversations over and over again, carrying the follow through yourself, I invite you to discover the power of coaching. So go ahead, click on the link to schedule your own discovery call, and let's talk about where the changes sort of keeps breaking down in your business and what needs to happen next for change to happen. So go ahead, schedule the discovery call. Your business deserves it, and so do you.